Hi everyone, I hope you're all okay. So today's video, I have been requested to do my everyday makeup routine. So this is what I'll be doing for you. So this is my everyday makeup, which I normally, sometimes I do switch things up with a bit with my eyes, but my face, like my foundation and stuff, always seems to stay the same. So this is what I like to wear on an everyday basis. And if you'd like to know how I achieved this look, then please keep watching. So I've already cleansed my face and I used this L'Oreal Skin Perfection Radiance Revealing Gentle Exfoliator, and now I'm just going to moisturise my face. But first thing I'm going to do is just clip my fringe back. And the moisturiser I'm going to be using is the Elemis Fresh Skin Softly Softly Daily Moisturiser. I'm just going to pump like... I'm just going to pump about that much onto my fingertips and then just slowly rub it in. So the first thing I'm going to do is foundation, and this is the Chanel Vitalumia Aqua in the shade 20 beige. I think that might be B20 beige. And I'm just going to take my Real Techniques buffing brush and I'm just going to shake this up. For those who've ever actually used the Chanel Vitalumia Aqua, have you ever forgotten to shake it up? Because obviously you don't do it with other foundations. But this one's like a water consistency and I always forget to shake it up sometimes. Right, so I'm just going to apply about that much onto my hand, and then grabbing my Real Techniques buffing brush. I can't say that today. Real Techniques buffing brush. I'm just going to start working on my cheeks, and it might look like lots to start off with, but I normally blend this into my whole face with just like this tiny amount of foundation. So now that my foundation is done, I'm just going to move on to concealer, and I use two concealers. I use the Collection Lasting Perfection concealer, that's for any blemishes I may have, and then I use the Maybelline Dream Lumi Touch for underneath my eyes. So I'm just going to start off with this, and I only really put like a tiny amount because, I say a tiny amount, I've just applied loads, so about that much I put on, and I'm just going to tap it in with my fingers. Once I've concealed underneath my eyes, I'm just going to move on to my Collection Lasting Perfection concealer and just conceal any blemishes I may have. So I have a little blemish there, just cover that, a tiny bit under my nose, on my chin, and just a few specks here and then on my forehead. And then I'm going to grab my buffing brush again, I look silly, and just blend it all in. Okay, so once my foundation and my concealer is done, I look a bit pale right now, and it's mainly because of the lighting. But then I'm going to move on to my powder, and this is the Rimmel Stay Matte powder in the shade Transparent. So I'm just going to grab this on my Liz Earle powder brush, just tap it a few times, and then I like to apply it in circular motions and lightly dust this over my face. So once my powder is done, I'm then just going to move on to bronzer, just to make my skin look more glowing and bronzed, because at the moment I look a bit pale. So this is the Anastasia bronzer, or Anastasia bronzer, and this is in the shade Sun Kissed. And I'm just going to use my Real Techniques contour brush for this, and I just lightly pat it on like so, and then just tap it off, and then start by doing it where I would normally contour, and then moving up to my temples and then on the hairline. So after bronzer, I'm then just going to go over with my blush. This is the blush by NYX or NYX in Mocha, which looks like this. I've been really liking this lately. So I'm just going to lightly tap it, and it is quite pigmented, so I normally tap it and then dab it onto my hand a bit and then apply. So for my blush, I just like to kind of just do a little smile and then find my cheekbone. So now that my face is done, I'm now going to move on to my brows. And for my brows, I like to use the Benefit Browsing, which looks like this. And I normally only really use the wax, and then I use a different powder on top. So I'm going to start with the wax. So after I've used the wax on my brows, I'm now going to use onto a bit of powder just to make it stay in place more throughout the day, and this is the MAC eyeshadow in Brun. So that I then just like to use a clear mascara and just go over the top with it just to make it stay in place. And I just like to lightly brush this on top. Moving on to eyes now, and I think I spend more time on my eyes than I do anything else. So the first thing I'm gonna use is from my Urban Decay Naked Basics palette, and this is the shade Venus. So it's this shade here, the first shade, and it's probably the only like shimmery shade. And I'm just gonna use it with my fingers and then just lightly apply that all over the lid. After that, I'm just going to take my Maybelline 24 Hour, or the Colour Tattoo 24 Hour eyeshadow base in On and On Bronze, which looks like this. And I'm just going to lightly take a bit of this and then apply it. Once that is done, I have my eyeshadow base on. I'm going to use my MUA single eyeshadow in the shade 11 Pale, and I'm just going to use my Real Techniques shading brush. This is what it looks like after I've applied the MUA eyeshadow, and I'm just going to take this eyeshadow from ELF. This is the baked eyeshadow. I think this is in the shade Plum or something like that, which looks like this. And I'm just going to take a tiny bit of this and apply this on the outer corner of my eyes. So this is what my eyes look like after I applied eyeshadow. And now I'm just going to move on to some liquid eyeliner. I don't normally apply this so much when I'm wearing a bit of eyeshadow on my eyes. Normally I like to just apply like a clear, like just probably like a little bit of base and a bit of eyeliner, or just stick to just eyeshadow. But I have been using eyeliner lately with my looks and just been really enjoying it, and that's my everyday look so lately. It looks like that after I've done my liquid eyeliner, and I'm just going to literally apply my flick. And I normally just like to, how I like to do my flick, obviously I think most people do this, but just kind of line it up from your brow where your brow ends, and then kind of to the corner of your eye, and that should be where your flick is. So back to my eyes again. I'm now going to take a bit of the MAC Crave from the Naked Basics palette, so that's the black shade, and I'm just going to use the Real Techniques brow brush and just lightly tap it onto the very tip of it, and then use it a tiny bit underneath. I do it like this just so my eyeliner doesn't smudge throughout the day. I'm going to move on to my mascara. I'm going to first start by curling my eyelashes. After I've curled my eyelashes, I'm going to start by doing my mascara, and this is the L'Oreal Telescopic Waterproof Mascara. Now that I've done my mascara, I'm now going to do my eyeliner, and I like to first do my bottom eyeliner, and then I like to line the lash line as well. So take my mirror again. So now that I have everything done, and I'm sorry this eye is kind of watering, I just poked myself in the eye with the eyeliner. So I'm going to finish off my look by using the Sexy Mother Pucker Gloss in the shade Nudist. So that is my everyday makeup routine. I hope you liked this video. If you did and you want to see more videos like this, then please do give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!